How was your day, King?
Man, always fantastic, man. Like we said, any day that you get an opportunity to inhale and exhale, it's another opportunity to excel. It's another opportunity to work on yourself, another opportunity to achieve whatever greatness you have set out for your life.
Yes.
And I think most importantly is that no matter what condition, state, or fashion your life is in right now, you're always one decision away from getting it right. Right?
Man.
You're always one decision away from getting it right.
Wow.
So it's like, some people may find themselves, or like, I'm going through stuff, and things are just, not going my way.
Yes.
Easy. If it's not going your way, then just make a decision and go another way. That's it. One decision. That's all you got to do.
Yes.
So, if you're, I think, the oversimplification of it is, if I'm going north, and as I'm traveling north, I look left, I look right, I look at the road in front of me, and I don't like what I see. At any moment in time, I can hit the brakes and stop, pick another direction.
Yes.
That's one decision, right?
Yes.
One decision, pick another direction and head that way, right? Okay, north is not it.
Yeah.
I don't like the scenery north. Let me go east, right? So we're always, I firmly believe we're always one decision away from, either success or failure. And likewise, right? If people are having tremendous amount of successes in their life, sometimes all it takes is one decision. One decision to find yourself in the wrong situation at the wrong time, and that's it. And all comes tumbling down. But just like every success story that we've heard, for anyone that's ever made it big, right? Like, they made a decision and things weren't going so well. Some people went bankrupt. Some people, they got divorces, they lost everything. And then they made a decision, boom, and then they got their life back on track, and
everything just went right back good.
Yes.
Even not making a decision is a decision, right?
True. Facts.
That's what we say. But when you said that, all you have to do is make a decision, and you just one decision away from greatness or failure, that kind of like really hit hard for me. Because remember, one of the conversations we had, right?
Yes.
Is like, I was like, King, man, looking at my life right now, one decision, man, that is all it takes. Great, or like everything I've worked out for up to this moment, just comes falling apart, right? And all you have to do is just make a decision. You don't like the direction you're heading to, just okay, I'm going north, let me change it to south, right? Because instead of, I'm going through stuff, give me a minute, let me figure it out. People say, let me figure it out, right? Remember also, with wherever your attention goes, your energy goes, right? And if your attention is just on that, I'm going through stuff, right? You just start going down this rabbit hole, man. This partners, this route of depression, loneliness, whatever it is, right? Because you're trying to figure stuff out, right, by yourself, instead of being around people or situations that, okay, they bring the best part out of me, or they bring the best out of me, right? And that kind of reminds me of the story of, someone that, one of my friends, right? He was like, man, I'm going through stuff, right? Through stuff. And, you know what his action was after that? Like, okay, I'm going to disconnect from everyone, right? Because we would be like, oh, you're wrong for this, you're wrong for that, right? And when he was going through his stuff, it was kind of like you're admitting the guilt, right? You're admitting like, yes, I did this stuff. Even when people accuse you of whatever, so okay, I'm going through this stuff, through this problem,
right?
The last thing you want to do is isolate yourself. Like, seriously, you want to be around people that, again, they're going to bring the best out of you, make you feel good, positivity and everything. Right?
No, I 100% agree, right? I think we've already mentioned that when people are going through stuff and they isolate themselves, it's like you're putting yourself in voluntarily solitary confinement, right? And that's how they break people in prisons, right? They isolate them from the group, from the crowd, and just put them in solitary confinement where they're left alone with their own thoughts. And here's a dilemma with that, right? I'm going through stuff, so I'm going to cut myself off from everyone and everything. right? The way you're currently thinking and the way you're currently feeling and your behavioral patterns, right? You're trapped in this loop, right? This never ending loop of trying to, think a certain way, and then it encourages certain feelings, and then those feelings, fuel your actions.
Yes.
And it's not getting you the desired results or solutions that you're looking for. So it's not moving you in a direction that you want to go.
Yes.
So if you're kind of trapped in this little, cycle of thinking, feeling, and then acting a certain way, and then you cut yourself off from external resources and sources,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Now that just leaves you even more isolated in thinking and feeling a certain way, right? Like, and even when, some people say that, well, I cut myself off from everything, and I gave myself a diet, a mental diet from things. And don't get me wrong, that's why every form and fashion of spiritual belief systems, practices some form of meditation, right? That's necessary, but that's a daily practice though,
yes.
right? You kind of shut everything down, all the external noise for a few minutes, a few hours every day. That should be a daily practice. That shouldn't be something where you go for extended periods of time where you just cut yourself off from everybody in the world, right? So when someone does that and then they say, well, I did it and I feel better, right? You actually didn't, you think you feel better, right? Until the next thing comes along, and then you repeat the same behavioral patterns, because now you tend to think that, well, the last time something came along and I'm going through stuff, I isolated myself, I disconnected myself from everyone, and that's how I dealt with it. So I'm gonna go do it again. Right? I'm gonna go do it again, and then the third thing comes on, I'm gonna go do it again. Right? And you're not looking at the other side of that with the people that's in your life and the people that you're cutting yourself off from, the potential impact on them.
Yes.
And they're also growing. They're also evolving.
Wow.
So when you go cut off, come back, cut off, come back, every time you come back, they're different. And then sometimes you might, and what really gets me, like the other perspective, is that when people cut themselves off, right? They go, and I see posts and memes on social media that goes, you know who your real friends are, who check up on you when you're going through stuff. You're the one that cut them off in the first place.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So you're the one that cut them off in the first place. So what you're saying is that you cutting people off and expecting people to check up on you is a cry for attention. That you need attention. You need support. You need love.
Yes.
You need encouragement.
Yes.
You need upliftment.
Yes.
Right? Like you need guidance.
Yes.
Right? So I completely get it that not everyone in your life and in your circle and that you're connected to is capable of providing all those things, right? Not everyone or a singular person embodies all of those things that you can get all of those things from, which is even more important. I think that makes the argument for not disconnecting yourself from people, because maybe from you're my brother, I know I can get unconditional love.
Yes.
Right.
Same.
And then I got my, maybe my sister over here, I can get, she's really good at making me smile. Right. Like, we have Queen Addie, can make anybody smile with her positive energy. Right.
Yes.
And then, my other brother over here, right. Like, always encouraging, always supporting, and like, right. So you can find all of those different resources and tools that you need in multiple people, right? That's probably why they're in your life in the first place.
Yes.
So I believe that when you go, you didn't check up on me when I was going through stuff, and you didn't text, you didn't call, you didn't return my call. Yeah, because you chose to cut yourself off.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I'm just respecting your wishes by leaving you alone.
Yeah.
Right? And then again, if you expected a phone call or text or a checkup on, then that's a cry for attention. And if you need attention, then you need, I would say that if you're let's take it into the example of, if your car's brakes, the brakes on your car needed fixing, right? Would you go to your lawyer and said, hey man, I heard you're good at cars. Can you look at my?
No,
you would not.
No, last person to go to.
Right, and same thing if you needed legal advice, right?
Yes.
Would you go to someone like, yeah, man, I studied law in college, never took the bar though, but yeah, but I can answer you, right? No, you're gonna go to the person who specializes in that. Not so. Also realize where your source of energy and information and support and right is coming from. I'm gonna go to someone who specializes in listening to, analyzing, assessing a problem, the specific problem that I have, and seek solutions, right? Because I want to be able to move through this stuff as quickly as humanly possible.
Yes. That is well said. The part where you talk about energy, right? Because, in conclusion, it definitely, drove home the question of it's really selfish to say you're going through stuff. Because, like you said, me at the other end, I'm going through, my own personal development in life, right? Yes. So our interaction, right, is my own form of one way or the other, my own form of personal development, right? And for you to just cut that off is really selfish, because now it may or may not affect my own. It does affect, my own personal growth, right? And then now it's like, okay, you backing off the inconsistency of that is really super selfish.
Yes.
It's super selfish for you to just think, I'm gonna just cut off the energy, I'm going through stuff. Again, where your source of energy is. Like you said, identify. Like if your car is broken, you can go to a lawyer, right? You're going through stuff. In your life, in your circle of friends,
yes,
people you can go to that, okay, let's help me out. Let's, be a solutionist, right? Like, okay, what is the solution to this? Or maybe sometimes just talk it out, like we had the other day, right? Yep. Just after the conversation, I felt super great, man. I was like, okay, the light is on, man. Let's go, right? Because I know my source of energy, right? Like you said, especially on the DFB team, my goodness, we have like Queen Adi, King Matt, King Kelvin, all of everyone on the team, super positive energy, right? Yes. And I surround myself around them.
Yep.
Like literally today at work, it was kind of one of those days. And I was like, man, left, right. And you know what I did? My own sense of joy was nicked on me. I look at my phone like, I feel good. Like just look at that. There was a video of her running out. Okay, I feel good, right?
Yes.
Again, but just imagine if I just cut off my, you know what? I'm going through stuff. Hey, man, King, I'm going through stuff, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow, right? Then it affects my relationship with not just you, now with the kids around you, and then the people that are connected to you through me.
Yes.
Do you see how that goes?
Yes, it's a trickle effect.
Man.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much for sticking to the end and watching this. Just go ahead and do me a quick favor. Click on the subscribe button right now.